Sorry.
The hypocrisy is going to be real.
Dude, no, don't even.
The heresy.
We went to Bible college, dude. We know things about the Bible.
Something.
Right.
But I do believe that there is grace in salvation. When you get to the pearly gates of heaven, if you've never heard the name of Jesus or the story of Jesus, then you can be saved. But I do think that people can go to hell.
Yeah. I think
if
people
they've
can
never
go
heard
to
of Jesus.
I think people can go to hell even if they heard the name of Jesus.
Oh, really?
Oh,
denying. Yeah, denying Jesus. Yeah, of course, clearly.
Or, I mean, Jesus says that you will know my name and say you know me, but I will spit you out.
Who are you?
Yeah, I will ask you, who are you? Get away, or like, I never knew you.
Never knew you.
I never knew you. So yeah, you can
but
know
yes,
Jesus.
To be fair, is I do think now that we have the Old Testament or the New Testament, is that you have to believe that Jesus died and rose again.
I don't think you need to. I know if you confess with your heart that Jesus is Lord, and that's a thing, but people in the Old Testament never knew who Jesus was or that he was going to be Lord.
They didn't have that to lean
right.
on.
So
they had other things to lean on.
But okay, yes, I totally get that, and that makes sense. Okay, but this is the point: is that you don't. Yet? Yeah, we're live right now.
Oh, hey guys, we're talking about the Bible.
We were getting into it, and we're like, we probably should just start. We should start doing this, man. I don't think anyone's listening in on us right now, though.
Oh, that's good.
We got no viewers. Anyways, but like. Okay. The point is, though, like the reason why we got into this whole thing is forgiveness. Okay, it doesn't matter necessarily about what you believe and what you like, if it's Jesus or anything. And I'm trying to bring it back to the point instead of kind of getting off topic a little bit here. But Tyler Dvorak followed me 6 days ago. Finally, on our Twitch. Tyler finally followed us.
Oh, nice. Wow.
But the point is,
your wife is so supportive.
Jesus and God forgive, even though people persecuted him. And that is my point. Even though you could have your father who left you and completely disowned you, you should still be able to forgive him. Think about the prodigal son. Where the story that Jesus talked about.
No, I realize.
Okay.
But in this scenario, the scenario we were talking about.
Yep.
This individual is asking for forgiveness.
He's not asking for forgiveness.
Oh, for sure. He's asking for forgiveness. He's expecting forgiveness.
No. You don't hear the whole story.
Are you kidding me?
He would rather go to Texas and just live there and just not talk to anybody because he is ashamed and doesn't want to talk to and doesn't want to talk to anyone that was involved. If he had that option, he definitely would have chosen that. He's very ashamed of what he did.
Why is the scenario happening the way it is?
It's happening what way? Like he's asking us to come live with us? He's not really asking us. Tyler kind of. Well, hang on. I named her. I'm trying to see who's listening. But she basically said, hey, you come live with us for a little bit and for you to get yourself back on your feet and then get a ticket to Texas or get enough money to put a down payment on for like an apartment. And then you can be done. But the hope is that in this, I really pray and I hope. I've prayed about this actually a lot because this is something that is a problem in the family. because there's a lot of, hang on, I'm trying to turn down on my mic. There's a lot of hard feelings towards him, and I pray and I hope that everyone can forgive him. And I think Tyler's family is kind of forgiving towards him, and I don't necessarily know. I haven't really experienced. I mean, they forgave me, kind of, but
Forgave you?
well, they had hard feelings towards me. I'm not going to deny that they didn't.
Like, what do you mean hard feelings towards you?
After I broke up with Tyler,
Oh,
they weren't the happiest, and I get that.
I'm sure they weren't.
But they forgave me, nonetheless. Trying to.
Well, they kind of have to now.
Well, I love her family, and her family. I feel bad sometimes because I'm not like as super like upgiddity like they are sometimes, and so like I'm. It's just who I am. But like, they're like, does he hate us? No, I don't hate you. I'd rather do something else than play cards and drink. It's not my thing, you know. Just drinking Code Red, baby.
Oh my gosh, you have a full.
So she went on a bachelorette party this weekend, and she came back with this full bag of drinks. I'm like, where'd you get all those? Well, the girls are like, what are we gonna do with all these drinks? And I told them, Regan will drink them. I'm a drinker, man. I'm drinking. It's my thing, man.
Drinking a 2 liter.
I don't want to put it in a cup because that's just gonna have me do more dishes. Like that's, and I've already. I don't know, dude. It's just,
I would say to answer our original question though.
Okay, go ahead.
Original question was, if my dad was in this scenario and he asked me to just
it's not necessarily
come
he
back,
did that. I'm sorry.
well, let's. He
you
was
put
gone.
Go ahead.
Yep. Treated family bad, whatever it is. It would be very tough for me to just willingly open my house to it.
Yeah, and I don't. It's not like he is completely. He just hasn't talked very much to the family, and oh my gosh, this cat.
My thing is, you're right. I am not a very forgiving person. But it also takes a lot to I mean, you'd really have to screw some things up to get me to not be around you.
Yeah. And like for me, like I
Say hi, Regan.
Hi. Hello, Scarlett. And but like for me, I think that makes what Jesus did so much more beautiful for the forgiveness, that he gave us, because we really screwed him over in all
we
that
killed
we
him.
did. Yeah, we seriously did. And and so like,
I mean, we didn't, but physically we didn't, but we did as humans.
But like, okay,
broken people.
But like, think about it this way, and I've tried to put myself in this situation. She's playing.
Say hi.
Hello. Well, like, I try to put myself in the situation that the people were in when Jesus's time, where you have a guy claiming to be God and doing all these miraculous things. You have no idea, though. Like you cannot say, well, I know Jesus now. Like, not say hi. But like we know that Jesus is God now, but like back then there wasn't like, well, it was very questionable of like if Jesus is God, and that's why
You know,
I think
the crazy thing is nowadays people are like, if I can't see it, I don't believe it. But then there's people back then who could actually see God, see Jesus, and still didn't believe
Yeah.
it. It's literally like
it's
there's nothing but like we couldn't. The crazy thing is sometimes we can never satisfy people no matter what we tell them, because they'll always find, hey, I'm talking. Because we'll always have people who, I mean, there's just not enough evidence for them to, they're so far in sin that they just not even physically seeing Jesus, seeing God, seeing him in flesh, and still saying, yeah, I don't believe him.
There's a really good debate with Dr. or Jeff Durbin and Dr. James White. Have you ever heard of them?
No.
If you here, let me share my screen with you. So there's this if it loads, come on. There's a debate between them and these atheists, and you can really just see they really make a clear picture for.
Oh, I know this guy.
Yeah. They're pretty popular now, but Jeff Durbin, he actually was I believe he was in, I thought he was in he was in Mortal Kombat. I thought it was Ninja Turtles, but he was, I thought it was whatever. But he does such a great job. Him and James White, Dr. James White, do such an amazing and incredible job of laying down the foundations of who Christ is, especially in this debate, because this debate is, do you need God and ethics? And they completely destroy this guy, because as an atheist, you have to subject yourself to there is no absolutes in morality. Anyone could be right, anyone could be wrong, and like and it doesn't matter. And that really just screws up the whole atheist perspective, because like you're muted or something like that.
Just get rid of that freaking cat, man. Get rid of that freaking
Dude,
cat.
tell me about it. The freaking cat
Screw that.
is so fat and wants food all the freaking time. Anyways, but like Jeff Durbin starts talking about rapists, and he's like, is that an absolute moral wrong? And the atheist had to like admit, to be consistent in his thought and his thinking. It says, no, they're somewhat wrong. I mean, they could be wrong, but they're not necessarily wrong. It's like, yeah, well, debates don't, and then Jeff's like, debate's over, guys. It's over, because I mean, or murderer.
Where do you get right and wrong from?
Yeah, you can't get to that thinking in life without a God, and having a God that is moral and absolute. And so that why did we get on? Oh yeah, because we were talking about Jesus, and how the people back then had, like, Jesus was right in front of them, and they had to completely deny God or Jesus.
Oh man, wow, esports. Wow. Man. Commenting on our stuff. Wow, what a great guy.
Look at that cutie. Thanks, dude.
Yep, Scarlett's a cute child.
I thought he was talking about you.
No, he was talking about my child.
I gotta turn down my. Can you hear my TV?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
There's nothing better.
So that was kind of I don't know, but the forgiveness thing.
Look, I am a broken person. I know I'm broken. I ain't perfect. And as much as I want to be like Jesus, there's times where I can, and some things are just like, all right, God, you got the best of me. I can't even try to attempt that.
Yeah.
And forgiveness has been a really big one. I mean, oh, she was cute too. Oh, thanks, Riley. Yeah, forgiveness is a big one because it's like, it'd be like if my wife cheated on me, and the expectation is that the next day, right, that I just need to be a little more like Jesus and forgive her of it. Or
yeah. I mean, we've had this conversation.
I just can't. I can't. My trust would be broken right away.
Yeah, and we've had that. I don't know. That's like, I don't know why it's for me a lot easier to forgive than it is. Like, we've had that conversation because, in my situation where my wife basically cheated on me, and then I had to basically
give some context. Not your current wife.
Not my current wife. No, my ex-wife. I'm sorry. My ex-wife cheated on me and basically left me in like hang to dry or whatever you call it, whatever that dry to hang.
Out to dry.
Left me out to dry. And never came back pretty much. And I really had to do a lot of soul searching in that. And there's a lot of things that was happening in my life, I guess, because I mean, I wasn't perfect in that time, no doubt, but I had to really search myself and really ask myself what God wanted for me. And one of the things that I've always, as a husband, have been asking God, like, how am I supposed to love my wife? How in the world what's the best way to love my wife in this situation? And well, not even, I shouldn't say love my wife, because the thing I always got out from what God was like saying is just love her. And because that's the main goal, is like, as us as husbands, is what God has asked us to do is to love our wives, and as Christ has loved the church, and that means sacrificing, forgiving, and all that fun jazz, the fruit of the spirit, and not the fruits. And so when I was hard times, and I was like, what do I do, God? What do you want me to do here? It was love her. And so for me, I don't know, it's like I got to get over myself in some way, because forgiveness is necessarily like, if you're being hurt, you're thinking about yourself a lot more than you would as like, you hurt me, and it's like that. 100% you deserve to respect yourself enough to be like, I cannot let somebody treat me that way. But as a commitment before you and God, you made a commitment to say, I do. And so because you said I do, and that commitment I made before God to love her as Christ loved the church, and you kind of have to look at the example of Jesus and how he loved, because that's such an incredible way of loving people. Just an incredible way of loving people. And just incredible.
He was perfect.
100%. But but the things that people did to him throughout the Old Testament, throughout Jesus' time, was disgusting, disgraceful, and people deserve to die because of what they did. They just didn't listen to God. They wanted, like, I'm currently reading First Samuel with Saul and Samuel, and then
Paul?
David. No, the other Saul. And
Paul?
Yeah. No, it's Paul. You're talking about Paul?
You're talking about my boy Paul, huh?
You're talking about Paul.
D.
Oh, I have another biblical thing that happened this week. I forgot to tell you. Anyways, but the Israelites, like, the whole premise of God's people is that they had God as their king. Like, God was their king. But the Israelites came to Samuel and, like, you know what? We want our own king. We want a man. We want to be like all the other nations that got their king. And Samuel literally went to the Israelites and, like, look, God is your king. Like, this is who your king is. And they're like, nope, we don't want him. We want an actual king that we can look at.
We want one of the boys.
We want one of them big boys.
Big boys.
And some of the stories, like I think the Bible is somewhat of a comedy, because if you put yourself in somebody, like, on the outskirts of, like, a situation that happened, you're like, oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Like, there's a story in I don't know. I talked to Tyler about this and she didn't think it was funny, but I thought it was hilarious. Like, there's a story in 2 Kings. Just imagine yourself sitting on a prairie, and there's like a little in this prairie, and then there's like woods. There's like a wood line, and you see this man walking. Oh, here you go. Walking to. I gotta go this way. Walking towards the woods, and then all these sudden you see all these, like, youths, like 20 kids, bunch of guys, bunch of boys, and they start yelling at this one guy, calling him an old man. And you're sitting there like, man, that's kind of harsh. These kids are really sticking it into this guy. And then you hear the old man scream at these guys, basically, like, yelling at something, and you hear him, like, cursing them, and then all of a sudden you see these bears come out of the woods and maul and just destroy these kids and kill them, and you're sitting on the prairie like, what the heck? Let's go. That's gonna be a Monday, It's just like, it just would be funny just to see that. It's like, but I just think it's funny. Maybe it's not that funny as I think it is, but it always brings a smile to my face. Anyways, so I wanted to ask. Here's a situation that happened last week on Wednesday. Volunteering, still back at Zoe, volunteering on Wednesday nights. And I have a picture of it, actually. The title of the sermon for this series we're going through is called Apologetics. Do you know what apologetics is, right?
Yeah, it's the defense against the dog gods. That's what I call it.
That's good.
It's defending against your faith.
Yeah,
but yes,
your defense against faith.
The defense of the dog gods.
Defense against the dog god. So these past 2 weeks have been nothing about defending of your faith. This last week, I took a picture. Apologetics. Literally right below it says, what is God's will for my life? And I am thinking, and the whole sermon, I was like, okay, well, let's see where this goes. Let's see where the pastor goes. Because I'm usually like, okay, I'm going to have an open mind. I'm not going to try to, like, tell this guy what to do right off the bat. Like, that's not apologetics. And he goes through this whole sermon, and it's literally just about what is God's will for your life. And I'm thinking, I don't think he knows what apologetics is. He hasn't defined apologetics. He said, we're going to be
the defense against the dark arts.
he literally hasn't even been talking about it, like the definition, but like all he's saying is, this is apologetics. So what is God's will for your life? And so like kids now are thinking apologetics is, what is God's will for my life? What's God's will for my life? And I went to we went to a small group, and I asked everyone, what is apologetics? Does anyone know what it is? And no one answered. No one could give me a straight answer of what apologetics was. Now, granted, these were kids. Some of them were the pastor kids, have been pastor kids. And they sorry, I'm reading this message. But like these are kids that have grown up in the church, and they kind of should know what that is. And I don't know, that was just weird for me having to explain that to a bunch of pastor kids. And some of these guys are the brother of the guy who was preaching up on the pulpit. And I was like, this is kind of weird. Just weird in general. And I was trying to figure out how to handle the situation, because I wanted to talk to him about it, because I believe if you're preaching something wrong, I need to hold you accountable.
Really?
100%.
Okay. Agreed.
100%.
False teaching. Call out false teaching. I like it.
But it's not like it's necessarily he was being a false teacher. Like when he was talking about what God's will in your life, I completely agree with him. God's will is that he wants, to love God with all your heart, soul, and mind, and to love others as he has loved you. Or, the golden rule. Treat others as you would want them to be treated, or as if you, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Treat others.
Treat others as you should be treated yourself.
Treat others as how you should be treated.
Something along those lines.
Or to love your enemies.
Love your neighbors as yourself.
Love your
enemies as yourself.
Love your enemies as yourself. Love your enemies as your love. But I don't know that I don't know. I just kind of wanted to talk to him and
about some apologetics.
But like what he thinks apologetics is, because I don't think he knew what apologetics is.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it's just weird.
I mean, they are pastors' kids, right? You said?
Yeah, they are.
I never knew what apologetics was until I went to Crown. So
yeah, and like the guy is pretty young as a pastor. He's like, I think he's 21, 22. And he, I don't want to push it. I don't know. I didn't want to be one of the people in the church where one of those guys, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I didn't want to be one of those people that just always every week messages the pastor about it, what he did wrong. And so I'm like, I don't know. It's just weird. Just a weird thing.
I also think it's like, I mean, we don't always agree with what the pastor always says every single time. Right. But that also,
like Calvinism.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true, right? Like, why
I do think some things are Calvinistic, sure.
Like, what do you mean Okay, well, anyways, go ahead. What you're saying. Like
when we say God knows my future, God knows what what's in store for you.
Yep.
Right. I truly believe that, but I
Yeah.
don't think it's already chosen.
Like he didn't
Does that make
choose it.
sense?
Is that what
He
you're trying
didn't
to say?
choose it, but he knows what I'm going to choose. Does that make sense?
So this is another. I have this conversation with the kids at youth group, and they love talking about Calvinism. And just
Wait, you
to
went to youth group?
just to give everyone the preface of what Calvinism is. Calvinism is the predestinations that God already predestined or made a decision about everything that was going to happen in the world without any human interference. Really, that there is no free will, if you may.
Then I guess my whole thing is like, if Calvinism is true, like, and this is why I say I believe some points of Calvinism can be justified. Like, I believe God knows what I'm going to choose before I know it, before I choose it, right? But I don't believe it's predestined. But if it were to say that God predestined everything that has happened now in the future, we are saying that God created sin then, and God guided the world to sin.
Yeah.
Which I don't believe would happen.
No, I think, I mean, God had to interfere at some points in the Bible, like with Pharaoh. God hardened Pharaoh's heart.
Yep.
And so like things like that where I'm like, okay, there are some points where God had to interfere, but there are other points in the Bible that you look like that people went completely against what God's will was, which you look at Noah. Noah's will was for, he didn't want to go to Nineveh, but God's will was for, what?
Yeah.
But God,
it was for these.
For these what?
For these.
I knew on it. I knew.
Oh man, I totally got you, man. What a loser!
I freaking hate you, dude. I freaking don't even know. Dude, no freaking way.
What? What happened?
Boy Luke is a freaking photographer for the Minnesota United. We got to go to one of those games.
Ooh, soccer.
Yeah. Anyways, but
soccer.
It's actually like, have you ever been to a hockey game?
Youth hockey.
We should go to a Wild game. Oh, they're in the playoffs tonight. That's right. I should keep a track on that. But anyways. Oh, shoot, dude.
Got him. Yep. Got he.
Shut up.
Have you been watching? Do you watch Mr. Beast?
Oh gosh, dude.
Did you hear about? Did you hear about what happened?
What happened?
One of his boys who was like in the group just came out as transgender.
Oh yeah, did.
Yeah.
I freaking knew that.
Like you saw it coming, or you knew?
I knew like a couple days ago, dude.
Yeah, it's been out for a little bit.
Well, what do you saw? Me and my wife had that conversation yesterday actually, about transgenderism. She is, I mean, with the things that are coming out, did you hear about Washington? The state of Washington with transgender?
No, tell me.
So Washington just sent a bill that was passed and being presented to, or basically to the governor of Washington, probably is going to be passed and is going to be in law in Washington, is that if a child wants to get a gender affirming treatment, so changes their sex, surgery, yep, that they don't need their parents' consent, underage child.
Ooh.
So, and if the parent, I don't know, 100% on if they can take them away. Because if they run away from them and there's plenty of organizations and probably rehabilitation programs for kids that parents disagree with it and don't want them to go through in this gender affirming crap.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's that would help them get out, like leave their parents basically. But like we're coming to a point now in some states where people are having to really choose.
Who are you talking to?
I saw Woe Sports message on our Twitch, and I was like, "Yep, yep."
Yep.
But we're coming to a situation now with in our country, probably, because freaking people are in charge now. That we really have to really stand for what we believe. And we're getting to a situation now, though, that we're coming into an atheistic approach for a lot of how people think, because it's like, well, it's my truth and you have your truth, and you can think that way, but I'm going to think my way. There is no really right or wrong in this. And in some ways, you're going to have to stand your ground in the sense of your beliefs, of what's right for you, and why this country has been the greatest country of all time. Basically, back-to-back world champs. You can go, you can see our
back-to-back world champs, baby.
You can see our freaking list of what we've got in our resume, man. We freed the slaves. We created some of the greatest.
The land. Oh, wait,
we conquered.
We conquered everything.
Yeah, we conquered everything. No country is perfect, obviously. But we're coming into a situation now in our country where we're going to have to defend ourselves. And there's like, if the government comes and takes my son because he wants to change his gender to like a girl or whatever, dude, I'm coming gun blazing, dude.
Be respectful to the pronouns.
Oh gosh, dude.
All right? Be respectful to the pronouns.
Like I can't imagine like in a world where they take away your children just because they disagree with your parenting style.
I'm telling you, dude.
That's
I've been
ridiculous.
saying this for a long time. The devil he's scared.
Mm-hmm.
He's scared of what's coming. Jesus is coming at some point.
Amen.
I love the pronouns. Freaking screw pronouns.
Man.
Oh, actually, Matt Walsh completely and absolutely crushes a transgender woman. On one of his speeches. She's an EMT. I as the best. Oh, good. But he crushes this girl, male, whatever he is. I think it's a guy thinking he's a girl. But he basically is talking to this person, and he's a EMT, and he paints this picture, this scenario, and says, okay, if you guys get an emergency call, and it's a guy who has genitals, male genitalia, and he calls in for an emergency, and he says he's having a period. Are you gonna run tests on that individual to see if he's actually having
a miscarriage?
No, a miscarriage. Yep. If he's actually having a miscarriage, and he's like, well, no. Well, no.
Right.
And then he or she, what, man, I don't even know. That's the crazy thing, is you don't even know who that.
You don't know. I don't.
They are.
Like, I always get mixed up. Like, what do I like? A transgender man, because like I don't know how to like. they're like, if it's a man transitioning into a woman, how do I call that? What do I call it? Like, I don't know. This is a huge topic in today's day, and
big time,
big old
big time,
topic.
big
And
time.
SNL did a little thing on. I don't know. I'm not a big SNL fan. I never really have been. But they just did a whole thing on transgenderism and supporting kids for the right to choose their
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
they did. They're right. And I mean, they did a comedy thing out of it, but like there's seriousness to it. And it's so just whack, I guess, is the only. It's just crazy because as a youth, you can't get a tattoo without parental consent. You can't buy can't buy cigarettes. You can't buy alcohol, but you can go and get a life-changing, life-altering surgery that will affect you for the rest of your life. It's just like, man, we got to be smart.
And they're doing it to kids.
Yeah, to kids. It's not. I mean, I can. No, don't get me wrong. I think if you're old enough, I think, yeah, go ahead. If you want to do that, I think you still need help. There's something going on.
But there's nothing I can do to.
You're a grown up. You have the right to choose to do what you want. Thank you, Wowie Sports, for helping me out.
Wowie Sports.
That's how you pronounce it, dude.
Wow, esports. I don't know. The way I look at it is like the guy from Mr. Beast said that he'd been taking like some HRT or something like that, and it's been like he feels way better, and like this is a life-changing thing. But like, to be honest with you, like he looks sick. Like he does not look healthy at all. Like if you go and look at like a before and after, I'm like the guy just does not. He does not look healthy, and like I just feel really bad for his kid too. Like he's got a kid and he had a wife.
Wait, no, he had a wife. Here, let's see. I'll show you this. I'll show the viewers here. Chris Tyson is his name.
Chris Tyson. Yep.
This is him with his wife and his kid, and he's also. I saw something that he's also. Yeah, he's got a. He's not a good. He's a good-looking guy here. It looks like he's got a good-looking kid, but now he's transitioning, and it's just like you don't look well. There's some things you're dealing with right now.
You're dealing with some stuff, bub.
And that's the thing too, is like transgenderism used to be seen as this huge
it was a mental illness.
It was a mental illness, right? And over these past few years, it's changed.
What a babe. Oh God.
What?
Right. Wow, esports, because what a babe. I just my whole thing is like, you're an adult, go ahead, you're fine, right? But
get yourself
kids
some help,
are kids. The kids are kids, right? Like,
yeah,
you're like, people pushing this kind of crap is not healthy for kids in general, right? It's not. What health benefits do we see in it, right? Other than just confused people who really just don't like.
Yeah, and
they don't really know what they are, and
he's got he had a beautiful wife.
The crazy thing is like, and there's this saying is you need Jesus, and people hate this saying, but it's like, where do you find your identity in? Like, you are so lost in your identity that you don't know what you are. But
Like-
guess what? You're a child of God, dude. Like be, like Jesus, there's your identity. There's your identity. You're a child of God.
Amen.
Like, you don't need any other form of identity, and you don't need to be confused about it. You're just having, like, really, I personally think it's like you're just having a bad day potentially. Like,
and
I don't know.
I don't know. I guess like you're finding your identity in yourself, and we've come to a culture now where it is seen as like it's all about me. And when we make things so much about ourselves, we get depressed. We get all these issues that come into our life because like you go to like third world countries, they're barely dealing with this stuff. Not a whole lot of people are dealing with these issues because, well, I got bigger problems that I got to think of more than myself.
I got food on the table.
Yeah, I got to provide for my family. I got to think about my family before I can even think about myself. And so, like those kind of things is
Selfish.
like it's selfish, and we live in a very selfish country now. In one of the richest and one of the most prominent countries now in the entire Earth existence.
We're the richest country in the world.
We really are.
We are.
I mean,
I think statistically we are.
With how, I don't know, but we're also the most in debt countries in the world, probably. Anyways, but
Thank you, Joe Biden. Screw you, Joe Biden. Have a good day. Yeah. Well, hey, let's jump into the actual pod.
Dude. I'm sorry, dude. We got so friggin' new.
No,
okay.
I think we're good, man. We're gonna go. I mean, we're just gonna talk about the last episode because
Okay.
the other two episodes, we'll talk about the second to last because JB was in there, and he was a freaking piss rocket. He was awesome.
Oh gosh, the newest
Freaking
episode.
JB, baby. JB. If you
He
know
is
who
my
JB
guy.
is.
Beaches, 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 beaches.
Yeah, but yeah, let's jump.
Let's I'm going to run the intro in 3, 2, 1. Oh wait, sorry, my cat is trying to get it to the food that I've laid out. No, and now
please no. Love sleeping.
Welcome to the Goof and Goober Show. You decide who's the goof and who's the goober. Join Matthew and Regan as they talk all things from their own personal life questions to reviews on movies and TV shows. Now, your hosts, Regan and Matthew.
Yo, 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 yo. What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the Goof and Goober Show? It's your boy, Matt. Matt Leathers. Whatever, however you pronounce it. Back to you again with episode 15 of the Goof and Goober podcast. We are halfway to 30, and we're only 5 away from 20.
Jeez.
We are. That would literally make us. When we get to 20, we're 20% to 100. Did you know that? And when we get to 30, we're gonna be 30%. Oh my gosh.
What the heck?
Today, we've got a very fun-filled show. We're gonna talk some Star Wars Mandalorian. We had a pretty good pre-show, by the way, as well. So if you guys check us out on Twitch, on our live stream, 8 o'clock every single Monday for the foreseeable future, we have a pre-show. And we talk about a lot of fun stuff. Today, we talked about some biblical stuff, some Bible stuff, some arguments that we had, different beliefs and ideas,
Different
common goal,
perspectives.
different perspectives. So yeah, next time check it out. I'm joined here today with my boy Regan again. Regan,
Yeah.
today has been a day that we've been looking forward to for a really, really long time. Precisely 7 days from the last episode we filmed.
Right, because we were supposed to do this last episode, but we got carried away. We were just having too much fun last episode.
we, we really did have like a little bit too much fun.
I think that was like one of my favorite episodes. So I guess maybe one of my actually favorite episodes was with guest star Max Moser from the Infinity Bros. Shout out to the Infinity Bros.
Yes, shout out to our boys. Our boys. Couple things on the agenda for today. Big shout out to WoW Esports, aka my little brother, for hopping in on the pre-show here on Twitch.
Well, we did have somebody on
And-
YouTube, Lewis got 13 with some great commenting. He's got a good question for us, and
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know
Okay,
if
there's
you-
a lot to. There's a lot of stuff in there, I guess.
There's a lot of questions, yeah.
There's a lot of questions. We will address those in
Or
the
maybe
show
it's
potentially.
Lewis got.
Lewis got.
That's
what it is. Lewis got. GOTT. That's a name. I don't know who he is, but thank you and welcome to the show. A couple things on the agenda for today. And as we go through this next week, this next podcast, we're going to have a special guest. It's going to be awesome. It is going to be on Super Mario Bros. I think is what it is. I think it's what the actual title's called. It's not Super Mario World, but it's Super Mario Bros. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be is he going to be here on Monday?
No, we'll have to pre-show it.
So we're going to have to pre-show.
Let's go, Lewis. He's
Thank you,
watching our
Lewis.
show from now on for the rest of his life.
Wow.
That's my
Thank you,
guy.
Lewis. We're going to pre-show it on Sunday at whatever time. We'll announce it on Instagram. If you aren't followed on our Instagram, you guys got to dippy in. Go to our Instagram, the Goof and Goober Show, _ after each word. You could also do that on Facebook, Twitter. You could do that on Twitch, YouTube, all of it, wherever you're at. Go ahead and give us a follow. We are doing a giveaway. When we hit 100 followers on Instagram, we are going to be doing a giveaway. We are like 30 followers away from 100. So go ahead, follow it. And we'll be doing a giveaway for some Funko Pops, some action figures, just a couple different things that.
We got inventory, guys. We got inventory to give out that we're just dying to give out.
Dying to give out.
If you go on our Instagram page,
I'm actually really tired of having it on my in my house.
You can see it right at our first post is the giveaways that we want to give to you for all the hard work you guys have been through the thick and thin,
Sticking with us. The
Sticking
first
through,
100
man.
followers.
100 followers, man. Where
Regan,
can they follow us?
Oh,
sorry.
Do you prefer heads or tails? By the way.
Oh, definitely heads.
You're definitely a heads guy?
Yeah, 100% heads. Love heads.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Oh gosh.
Okay. You
going
really prefer heads or tails?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
Fabulous. What I'd like for you to do is quickly in like 10 seconds is I want you to go get a prop of some sort. And really quickly, something, just a bunch of guys being dudes being guys. What's the best shape? Circle. 100%. Yes, sir. I want you to get something long and something round. I want you to go grab some props really quick. For those of you who don't know,
I gotta get something one object or two objects.
One object that's long and round.
Okay, I've got it.
Okay. You have it with you already?
Yeah.
Okay. Fabulous. Facts. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, we like to do a little we like to have a little funsies on here before we jump into talking about what we talk about. So Regan, what I'd like for you to do is I would like for you to actually, oh man. Okay, never mind. We'll just go with it. Is I would like for you to take whatever object that you have
Okay.
and tell us a factual thing that you would use it for. And then I would like for you to make, say, a made up thing that you would use for that object. So, like, for an example, this water bottle. If you combine this water bottle with this mug, George Lucas is actually Jerry Seinfeld. He let himself go. I want you to use that product to explain a specific situation where you would use this product in space, for an example, or in the jungle. How would you use this product outside of its normal functional use? So instead of it being a water bottle, I could use this as a cup or a spoon. Okay? And here there will be a reason why I'm asking this. Go ahead. Show us what you got. What do you got?
Okay, here we go.
Show us what you got.
Thank you guys. Thank you. You guys are too kind. Thank you.
Fabulous.
Hey, all right. Thank you. It's you.
Everybody in the bed.
Yes. Thank you guys so much, guys. You've been such a great support to me in this business, and you guys deserve all the credit. You guys, not me, you guys. I want to thank you so much again for having me and preparing me for this great little presentation I gave you guys. I'm here for you guys. Guys, I'm here. We've made this, okay? You guys have all been here. We've been here for my little flask water bottle. But a lot of you guys don't know a lot of the cool things that my flask does. I'm sorry. I ate a lot right before this, so I might need to step away from the mic because it's a little bubbly. You know what I mean? Everyone laugh. Thank you. Oh, guys. Yeah. Yes. But there's a lot of key things that happens with this flask. Okay. A lot of people don't think that this is just a normal water bottle flask. I take this to class and I drink some. Oh gosh. Sorry guys. Sorry. Anyways, this flask, there's a lot of multi-tools in this that we created for you guys specifically that you might not even know about. This handle, you might think, oh, I use it to carry things and I'll carry it around and whatnot. No, it's a battering ram. This thing is not, this is a weapon. We specifically designed this for ergodynamic, wind resistant, philanthropic, weatheristic,
weaponry,
fiber optic, synthetic, polyester, quantum leap flask, and you can hit people with it. If you're not really having a good day, you can make your day a little bit better. You know what I mean? So, guys, thank you so much for having me. You guys have been a great crowd, and I appreciate you all yet again. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Oh, geez. Okay, I'm coming back up. Okay, so another cool thing about this, guys. Okay, I'm gonna tell you another cool thing about this flask. Okay, that you probably didn't know that you could use this flask for. Okay. Okay, calm it down. Calm it down.
Richard.
Thank
Sorry.
you. Guys, this flask is also one of our food container flasks that you can literally, that's why we have this little guy here to suck up the pre-made. You can buy this on our website, www.flask-fallopidoristic, it's a tongue twister, flask-fallopidoristic fun games .com.org.edu, and you guys can get this at a low price of $69.99, and it is one of the greatest investments of your guys' life. And you can also buy the pre-made food that you can put in here, and you take this to go eat on the go, and the food's going to be $79.99. And that's just for one container, one bag. You put that in there and take that, get that bag going, go. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much yet again. Thank you.
I am so proud of you, guys. Last round of applause for Regan here. We want to just thank him for coming out today.
Yep.
Thank you for giving your pitch.
Yep.
I was trying to figure out what were you asking for? Were you asking for like an invest, like were you looking for capital to the building, or were you just trying to sell?
I mean,
the
ours is just a
product, or-
normal, like a little TED talk that I usually, like how Apple has their little intro, like how to use their iPhone. That's kind of how I use my flask. So, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, okay, good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for watching Regan. Enjoy the Funtastics, and having some fun prior to us talking. Anyway, we are gonna jump into the Mandalorian.
Oh boy,
season 3. We are behind on like 4 or 5 episodes on the podcast. But Regan and I have agreed that a few of them just weren't good enough for us to really talk about.
Debatable. I mean, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So they weren't. We all know that some of them were filler, some of them were okay.
Oh gosh.
But we're just gonna jump into the most recent episode 7. Okay. Quick little synopsis here. If you haven't seen the Mandalorian, if you haven't seen the new episode, this is your spoiler warning right now. By the way, we do not want you to be spoiled unless you want to be spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
So there's your spoiler warning. Okay.
Spoiler.
Oh, a spoiler. There's a spoiler on the screen. Spoiler. Big spoilers. Spoiler warning. We're gonna jump into a little bit of a synopsis here for episode 7. Regan, what was your thoughts on episode 7, by the way, before we jump into that?
You mean chapter 23?
Episode 7, season 3. Yeah. That one.
Okay. Yeah. This one was a good move. I feel like this has been something that has been in the making for the past few seasons with the Mandalorians and the Mandalorians and the 2 separate tribes that they have. And I mean, the build up to this pinnacle point of the Mandalorians is essential. And I loved it. I loved every bit of it. But I'd say I think over this whole season 3, my favorite episode would be probably episode 5. Right off the get-go. And I'm sorry, I'm probably coming in here hot with my own knowledge of what I thought about this, but I needed to say it because we haven't been able to talk about the Mandalorian for like the past 4 weeks now, and
That is a big hot take.
I loved episode 5. It was such a great like the pirates, the love I had. Oh, we already gave the spoilers, so I can. I've been trying to.
You could talk about it. Yeah, go ahead.
A little tiptoed around everything. I loved how that the Mandalorians set this up with like season or episode 2 and 1, and with the pirates and getting back to them, and the Mandalorians just coming in and fighting, and I love that. That being said, I do love episode 7 here because you get a lot of the action. This is the action we've been wanting. It's been the action that we've been deserving. But it's like, what do we do now that the Mandalorian is now captured by the Empire, the New Republic? I mean, no, the Empire, not the New Republic. And what is going to happen now to the Mandalorian and the Mandalorians as they search for their planet, their home?
Mm-hmm.
It's got me questioning and really looking forward to episode 8 or chapter 24 if you're more of a chapter person like myself. But like this is just good Star Wars. Good Star Wars, good music. Like, I don't know about you guys. So one of the things I also like really look forward to in a good show, good TV series, good movie, the music. And that's something that we haven't had a whole lot of in not like a good music like show. You know what I mean? Like, think of the Avatar: The Last Airbender music. That stuff is magical. Think of the Lord of the Rings. And absolute legend. Thank you, Lou is got. And the Lord of the Rings, like the orchestra, they don't do this anymore. And it's just like they need to bring it back to just some great music. And so, yeah, I guess that's my thought. Episode 7. And I would.
Did you really like the music?
The music was great, and it was, it was a tear jerker too because of that one. What is the Mandalorian name? The guy that basically died. He died
at the end of episode 7.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I don't know if it was tear jerking. I don't agree with that. But
because they build up that character too, and you had like his backstory, and you really cared about him because you knew him. The Mandalorian saved his son. Paz Vizsla. But like you got to know this guy a lot more on a deeper level because his son became a Mandalorian. You saw that, which his son's a horrible actor, by the way.
Jon Favreau, showrunner and director,
plays him.
No way.
I don't.
Jon Favreau plays him.
I don't freaking believe it.
I'm fact checking you right now.
But like
I'm gonna fact check you.
That whole part really got me. Like I kind of wanted to cry, but it wasn't like a super like I'm gonna cry.
I'm gonna be I'm gonna be completely upfront with you on it. I thought that death was dumb. Personally,
really,
I thought that death was really dumb.
He voices him too. No way.
You're a liar. I don't see him on IMDb.
Uh-oh. Hey, Matthew, I believe in Louis Gott's.
Look, I don't know. So
Louis Gott 13 is my guy, and whatever he says is go. So he's our man. He's our fact checker, and whatever he says is true. So
there's no way.
The Mandalorian's first season in the book of the Boba Fett Paz Fizio was voiced by John Favre. See? He got it right there. He got it right there.
Wow, it is. Wow. All right, you were right. Okay, I'm calling it. Hey, you know what?
I told you. You don't. This guy.
Goof,
dude.
Goober, and Lou. Wow. I still don't know who this Lou is, but
Lou?
I don't know who he is, but welcome to the show. So John
I'm pretty sure it's
Favreau.
Lewis.
Lewis who?
From
One does not speak unless one knows.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Well, personally, I wasn't a huge fan of the death. I thought it was a dumb death.
You did?
I
I thought
a
it was
very dumb
heroic.
death.
I thought it was so heroic.
Okay, let me rephrase or change my point here.
Okay.
Is the way he went out, I loved it, right? It was cool to see how he went out. But personally, my thought is you just press the button to close the door. You could have pressed the button and went inside. Like that door didn't shut fast enough for him to not press the button and go inside.
I think in that situation, he had to.
She cut the tiniest of fools.
And
yeah, and John Favreau didn't do that.
and
You're right.
if he didn't shut that door, they would be able to get through that hole that she created, and they would have to go through a whole nother thing. So his thought
yeah, but
process,
then he
I
gets
think,
back
was
to his he gets back to his troops.
is that
That road to his outfit and do that. Yeah, maybe not.
but
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
Maybe,
personally
I mean, he
think that
could
it was
probably
just
take
like-
that off, but I mean, still at the same time, then his troops are still coming after him. So him shutting that door basically gave them more time to get away and escape and be able to, get a plan.
Just do the Star Wars thing, man. Just do the Star Wars thing where you go in, you shoot the button, and then all of a sudden it shuts the door. Do the Star Wars thing.
That
This is
so
Star Wars.
true, man. I didn't even think of that
Come on, man. Like
Man.
it's the Star Wars.
thing. He
Mm,
just
no.
Bo just got a new one. She dies.
Sacrifices herself. Oh, I
So
was
you
gonna
think-
I was gonna talk about Bo-Katan. I feel like she's becoming the lead of the show right now.
They're definitely going to be
Man-
making
over
no,
Din Djarin.
Yeah, Din Djarin hasn't had a whole lot of. I think you're right on that.
I feel like
is
he's
that
stepped
she's-
down as
He
a
stepped
as the
down
lead
a
of the
little
show.
bit. They haven't really
It's not his story
focused
anymore.
too much on Din Djarin, and that's the point of their announcements. The Wire season 2. Well, I think they're gonna have to make a new series with Bo-Katan, 100%.
Yeah,
But
or
they can't
or they
ruin
just keep.
it.
I mean, the Mandalorian.
It's the Mandalorian, though. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
based
not-
on Din Djarin.
It's not
You're
Din
right.
Djarin. He's just the man. He's just a Mandalorian.
Yeah, I think you gotta. He promises.
I do also think.
So Lou is got 13, and then we have Real Alex Baum saying that season 3 is trash. Matthew takes on that.
Season 3 so far, I would give it a 3 out of 5. Personally, I haven't been the hugest fan of it personally. I thought episode 2 episode 2 and episode 7 have been the best for me, the best episodes personally.
Episode 2.
It's
Okay.
not trash. It's personally, I think it's just below average in my opinion. I think similar to that of the Vader where Luke's father. I have spoken. I just think that, like, for an example, which one did I watch? The one where at the beginning we see what's her name? She was with Moff Gideon. She was one of the workers for him, and then she's in Coruscant, right? You know what episode I'm talking about?
Yeah, the
I can't
chapter
remember what
3
episode
or
it is.
episode 3 where it's just
Like
it
that
doesn't.
that one didn't need to be in there personally, and then they showed like it was kind of like a love story between the two, but then it turned out she was actually just trying to get him to.
Yeah, that's episode 3.
Yeah. That
convert.
was just like that didn't need to be in there personally. Like you didn't have to do that
Yeah,
personally.
I think it gave you
I don't know.
more of a backstory to episode 7 though, because it gives you more of a understanding of how Moff Gideon got to where he is now, and
Yeah,
why
but I'm just like
how he got.
I was
out
watching
of
it at the
basically.
gym, right? And I was like, "Oh, sick! I'm about to watch some Mandalorian, right? And get the Mandalorian feels."
Yeah,
Then I got this, this
whole
story.
thing.
It's like, you know what?
I don't think you
It's
needed to
almost
make
like
a
episode
whole
2 in The Last
episode.
of Us.
You didn't need to make a whole episode on the whole thing. I think you could have maybe made like a scene out of it, and be done with it pretty much. But you didn't
Yeah.
need to make a whole episode. But I don't. There's a question.
It's like episode 2 of The Last of Us with Bill. I didn't need that.
Episode The Last of Us.
I didn't need it.
I mean, nobody
didn't need that at
needed
all.
that. There's so many things in like TV series that you don't necessarily need, but they just
I just
have
want a
it on
TV
there
show
just
that they give me
because they're
everything.
filling gaps. Well, how did you like? This is my thing. I didn't really like episode 6 with. I mean, I love Jack Black. Jack Black's he has my heart ever since. I am the Mucky Muck. No, what's the band?
That's
he's in?
mine.
No, but yeah,
Tenacious D.
Tenacious D. Ever since Tenacious D, I've been in love with that guy. But they completely ruined it with Lizzo in that, and Lizzo should not be an actor. Just saying, she should stick to some of her music, and that should
The
be
D,
all.
baby. The D. Tenacious D.
But I don't think Lizzo should be an actor. She's horrible.
Oh,
Horrible.
horrible.
And she's kind of ruined the movie, especially since she's like took over the Baby Yoda, you know?
Yeah.
Like I don't get it. Just the baby that flew in her lap, and it's just kind of like,
Where do you see Star Wars going moving forward, like after this episode?
well, this
Because
is
I think we have 2 more episodes.
we got one more.
1 more episode.
Yep.
I mean, where do they take it after this episode? Like, do we have another battle with Moff Gideon like we did last season and the season before that?
It's got to be ended here. Bo-Katan has to kill Moff Gideon to show her that she is truly the king of the Mandalorians. Because now that we also in this episode we get these Mandalorians that have been living there and they've kind of been forgotten about. And this is a weird thing that like they have these Mandalorians that have been forgotten about and they've been living there since it's basically the expiration of the Mandalorians and everyone left. And then the Empire comes back and takes over, and these Mandalorians never even saw them or had anything like maybe came across them at once. It's just like, I don't know about that, you know. And they have technology there. They got the technology to see things. You know, it's not.
It's true.
But I mean, it was ransacked. I don't know. You think Moff kills Bo?
Moff kills Bo. Din kills Moff.
And then he gets the dark saber back.
The dark saber back.
I don't think so. I can't, especially Bo-Katan is now the I think
she's an established character. I don't know.
Yeah,
if they kill her.
They're going
Pay
to
off for her
run with
character?
and this could go off of what you were saying, is that the Mandalorian is now going to be more Bo-Katan. But
I just don't see them. I don't know. I just don't
But the
see
point-
them killing her off.
Yeah, but and this whole episode, this whole season is based off Bo-Katan, and she sees the creature thingy, the big old creature, whatever it's called, and she's the only one that's seen it, and she's the only one that you know when, and she's gonna have to try to tame that, I think, in this next season. But she was a side character. I don't know. I think Moff Gideon is probably gonna die here in this season. 100%.
They better kill him off.
There's no
because
way.
that'd be 3 seasons of him living.
Like it's 3 seasons. Like last season. Oh yeah, because that's
alive.
That's but he didn't. We didn't know about Goth City or whatever. I can't.
Moff
There's so
Gideon.
many names. Goth Gideon when in season 1. Did we?
Moff Gideon was in season 1. Yeah.
Like at the end. I'm trying to think.
Yes.
I can't.
He was there
remember
the
it.
entire season.
I don't know about that.
He was. Look up Moff Gideon season 1.
All right, I'm looking it up.
Moff Gideon.
Well, okay, you're gonna look it up.
season 1.
Okay, well, thanks
I'm
for
looking
telling
it
me.
up for you. You're welcome.
Well, you told me look it up, and then this is what I have to
Yeah,
deal with.
he made his first appearance in chapter 7, season 1.
Chapter 7. Yeah, that's at the end.
He was in season 1. That's
Yeah,
all
he
my
was in.
claim
You were
was.
telling me he was there the whole time.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, but he didn't come. You didn't know about him until chapter 7, which was
You haven't watched
literally
it.
one of the last episodes.
You haven't watched
Yeah, it was
enough
the
Mando.
second to last
It's
episode.
because the first couple episodes were filler, dude. That's why.
Yeah, please.
Season 1 had so much filler.
All right. Anyway, well, he's got to. I mean, there's got to be a bigger enemy though, because now they are trying to make that Moff Gideon. There is a bigger enemy
There
because
is a
they
bigger
had
enemy.
they had that meeting. So
Thrawn.
Moff Gideon's, yeah, he's Braun,
Thrawn. Grand
course.
Admiral Thrawn. Yeah.
Thrawn.
Thrawn.
There's that guy, and he's got to be the bigger. You know, it's kind of like if you think of the Avengers, and all these Avengers 1, with Loki. Loki, you know, was seen that he was kind of charging this whole army and bringing in all these creatures. You had no idea where they were coming from. And so your focus is on Loki, and then Loki's gone, and then there's a bigger enemy out there. And that's going to start this whole dilemma of getting the Mandalorians back into the life, back in the breathing life, back in the Mandalorians with Bo-Katan, and she's going.
I don't know. Lewis is really set on Bo-Katan dying. I mean, I could see it. I see both sides. I could see where she could die. I could see it.
I'm not saying you can't. Yeah, I'm not saying.
I'm not saying you can't.
It can't be.
I don't know. I'm more of, and as you guys will see through the podcast, I don't personally, for me, I don't know about Regan. I don't like killing people off all too much unless it's like a big main character. Not a huge fan.
Why is that?
I don't know. I don't know. Like if you kill off, like, guys, Bo isn't dying because no one can die in Star Wars anymore. Yeah,
It's true.
it's true. Just
That is so.
just like Marvel.
Yeah, you can't. No one can die now, and we can.
No, but it's
everyone
like-
can live life.
I would have preferred, like, let's say, like when we went to go see Ant-Man and Quantumania,
Yeah.
like I just wanted somebody, like someone should have died. I don't care who it is at that point,
Yeah.
but like it, like when the one guy died and he was exploded, the guy who had the beam eye or whatever, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep. I think so.
Like I didn't really care all too much. Like it was like, whatever. But if Ant-Man dies, like I'm just like, let's go. Like we actually feel something, like there's actually like meaning behind the kill. Not
Yeah, I get that. There is a lot more meaning. I think everybody wanted somebody to die in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Here, there's just so much more life in it that I think I don't know.
Oh, IG-11. Oh my gosh, we didn't even talk about IG-11.
Oh gosh, dude.
Dude, I called it. I freaking
You did not
called
call
it.
anything.
Yes,
I
did.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did.
Everyone go back to the episode.
Go back a couple episodes.
There's no way you called that.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I told you
true.
that he was coming back alive. I told you.
He was not. That is not IG-11.
It's
That's
IG-12.
Baby Yoda or Grogu.
It's IG-12. But I knew he was coming
Grogu
back.
basically manning a robot.
I knew he was
It's
coming
Grogu.
back. I knew he was coming back.
It's not IG-11, guys.
It is IG-12. I know it is. I know it's changed.
It's a robot.
I freaking called it.
It's technically Grogu.
It is technically Grogu, but I called it already. You said there's no way they could repair it. People don't have that thing anymore.
Riley Leathers doesn't know. He wasn't even watching our show by then.
Yeah, that guy hadn't been watching.
That guy hadn't even been watching the show. He freaking knows it. I don't know.
I know I called it. I remember saying he's gonna come back as a pivotal point in the show.
Is that a pivotal point?
Yes, he was. He protected Grogu. What are you talking about? He gave Grogu purpose. It gave him a fighting purpose in this episode. What are you talking
didn't even
about?
Fight.
It gave him a fighting purpose, a protective purpose. Yes, it did. If he needed to fight, he had a machine to do it.
You think Grogu couldn't fight without that? Without that machine, he wouldn't be able to fight.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
You're lying. He hasn't been able to fight other episode. From every episode, every season, he's been fighting without a robot.
He's shown a glimpse of his powers. That's it.
And you think because he's in a robot now, he can now has full range of everything. In this season, he literally beat a little child.
No. Don't put words in my mouth. I don't put words in my mouth. I didn't say he could finally do anything, but now it gives him a protective purpose, a fighting purpose. Yes.
A fighting purpose?
Yes, he's got protection now. He's not going out in the battlefield.
Literally vulnerable. That you could see his face through his
heart.
He's
not as vulnerable. No, he's not.
Yes, at least in it when he was in his
IG-12,
little
man.
bubble.
It's friggin' IG-12. You know nothing about this friggin' episode.
That's true. I didn't call that. That was Doc that was a mystery. Nobody knew that was coming. What a freaking joke that was, man. The things that they come up with. I don't know. It's true. Like they come up with the crazy stuff. They come up with such crazy things, dude.
That's funny.
Marty. Oh yeah. Jeez. And with Lizzo and Jack Black too. Like, I mean, Jack Black's already an actor, so he's already good. But
he's
Lizzo,
big time.
Yeah, Lizzo. Why Lizzo? Out of anybody you could choose, why Lizzo?
I don't know. It's your great grandfather. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Jon Favreau has done a really good job at casting people ever since he got into directing. So it's like maybe he has a purpose, maybe he doesn't have a purpose. Maybe he was looking for just a goofy character. I don't know. Like overall, I don't think she ruined the episode by any means. She just didn't add value to the
She didn't
episode.
really. I guess. I mean, she was in there a little bit. I don't know. I guess maybe
she wasn't
I was
in there
too
enough to
stuck
make
on.
a big.
She wasn't in there for very long, but when she was in there, it was just. I want move to the next scene, please. I don't want to see this. I'll watch
Please.
Jack Black, but I don't know. Now I just think about Peaches. every time I see Jack.
Peaches, 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 peaches,
Peaches. I don't know. Yeah.
Ah! That's
I don't know.
good.
Yeah,
So
I don't think
good, man.
IG. I don't know. And then that the Empire has now been basically taking over the old Mandalorian world and creating their armor and creating like these basically their own Mandalorians in a sense. I don't know. What did you think about that? I guess is my question.
Say that again.
With the Empire taking over the
Uh-huh.
Mandalorian world and them making their own, basically creating their own Mandalorians.
Who's the goof and who's the goober? That's for you to find out. It's for
You
to
decide.
choose. You decide.
And Lewis, it's up to you. That's your decision.
Mm-hmm.
Any one of us. All right. But what did you think about
each
that?
other? Look, I think my thing is how did they not know that they were doing that? Does that make sense? Like, how did they not know that they were creating a base there?
Well, people are being told that this place is uninhabitable.
But
and
with
then
the technology that's out there, how do they not know that somebody's building?
Well, how would that? I mean, this is the same thing with the Death Star. How could somebody not know that they're building a Death Star that's literally the size of a planet?
That's the logic that I'm not a fan of. Yeah. So like I agree with you. Like
you think, Matthew, you think in Star Wars they just have all the technology in the whole wide world. There's nothing that they can't think of, and that
Mandalorians still live there. Yeah, thank you. Real Alex, Mandalorians still live there. There was a whole group that didn't even leave the planet.
Hey man, hey Alex.
How did they not know?
I don't care what you say. Shut your friggin' mouth.
It's like, I don't know. It'd be like if I like walked into your house.
Goober. Thanks.
Left is Goober. Who's the left? Me or you?
I think I am. I think so.
When do we talk about Christianity?
Oh wait, no, that's
we already
you.
did that in the pre-show.
Yeah.
We talked about that in the pre-show.
100%.
Actually,
we did.
Our whole pre-show was
the whole pre-show was about Christianity.
Fun
fact.
The Trinity, beliefs, forgiveness, all that stuff.
All the fun.
So yeah, show up to the pre-show and we talk about that stuff. We talk about just random stuff on there.
We talk about everything here, dude. I mean, if you got Lou is got
you're
on par with your pickleball skills.
Yeah, he is so trash.
And and the thing is with Alex, I know I'm way better than pickleball than him. That's thank you.
Yeah,
That's
how do you know that?
But I ain't leaving.
We are kindred spirits.
That's a good Jewish. The Jewish. If I don't know, that's a prone and cool. I don't know. I like that. I mean, I know so many Jewish people, and they're very solid and have good morals, and I think it's a good religion, and it derives from Christianity. I mean, it doesn't derive. Christianity derives from Jewish, but I mean, we have similarities,
It's just about what you do.
Well, I mean, we could talk about that, but
maybe another time.
That's that. Yeah. I mean, how devoted, how of a Jew are you then? I mean, that's my questions. Because I think, because I've been reading, I guess, some of the Old Testament. I've been trying to go.
Not really at all. Oh,
no.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know if we want to get into that. I mean, we could get into it. Matthew, it's your show. My bad. It's your show.
I would just say let's pause for now. Show up to our next Monday or next Sunday for our pre-show.
I like Star Wars.
And then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, let's do that. We could talk about that. That's a good topic about different
Yeah.
religions. I like that.
Not
And
because
it's
I
my
don't want to talk about it, but it's
we
also
could be
don't wanna veer
we
from
could be
this.
talking about that
we could be talking about it all night.
all night.
and-
Matthew and I have some hot takes. You know what I mean? Oh, let's
Hot
go.
takes.
Minnesota Wild's up 1-0.
Hockey.
Yeah, dude.
Horrible.
It's the
Horrible
playoffs.
sport. Freaking hate that sport.
Respect. Thanks, Lou. Is
respect.
my guy.
So, okay. So that's kind
Back
of
into Star
I
Wars.
guess back into the old Starskis. I think this season's, if we do kill Bo-Katan, and we bring General or Admiral Thrawn in,
Yep.
I do think that Ahsoka is going to play a big role. Ahsoka is going to play a big role for the Mandalorian, personally, moving forward. If Thrawn's going to be a big piece in the Mandalorian as well. So I'm really, really excited about that. I'd love to see another collab of Ahsoka and the Mandalorian. Personally, like that episode, that's a top tier episode. When we first saw Ahsoka.
Where was that?
Season 2, episode season 2 for sure. Ahsoka.
Oh yeah, I think it was in season 1. That's who I thought it was. I'm really bad. Season 1, episode 3 is.
No,
I'm
chapter
thinking.
13. Chapter 13, The Jedi.
Oh wait, yeah, you're right.
Yep.
I thought it was an episode season 1.
But yeah, I think Thrawn's gonna play.
Well, she's getting her own TV series.
Yeah, that's where I think there's gonna be a collab though.
I mean, they're already
there's gonna be a big
collaborating
collab.
everything together with Boba Fett, horrible TV series.
I want them to do that like with like how they've been doing it with Marvel. I want to see Ahsoka with a prequel level fighting choreography. Oh yeah, for sure, 1000%, 1000%. None of this slow fighting.
Well, it's
Darth
like,
Vader versus Obi-Wan.
Oh, gosh. It's like I mean, like when we saw Mandalorian handling the Darksaber, everyone hated it, but I mean, when we were questioning about why he was so slow at the beginning, and we had to remind ourselves that the reason why he was so slow is because he wasn't clear of mind, and that's the Darksaber. I don't know, it gets heavier when you don't have a clear of mind, when you're kind of questioning yourself. And so nobody really liked it when Din was just
Din
Djarin, whatever. I mean, it's just Din, but whatever you want to. I mean, Din. Nobody liked it when he was handling that saber. Everybody loved it when Bo was carrying it because she was clear of mind and she could actually use it in a very efficient way, and literally was BA the whole time. I loved it. So
well, she's just a BA character, though.
She is, and she definitely. I don't know. I don't know about what's going to happen with her. She could die, but my hope is this next season, and everyone's got their own opinions. But I think she's going to be king. I mean, if my question then is okay, I think she's going to be king. But my question then, if you think that she's going to die, is Din going to then take over as the king of Mandalore because he was the last to yield? Or
well, technically, so I guess from the logic of Mandalore is that if she has the Darksaber, if Moff Gideon kills Bo-Katan, then Moff Gideon then is now the rightful heir with the Darksaber.
Right.
And then Din kills Moff Gideon, then Din is now the ruler of Mandalore, I think is what it is.
I get what Lou is.
He is a reluctant leader. That is true. He does bring up a good point. I actually, you know what?
I don't think anyone has ever seen him as a leader, and no one's. I don't know.
I could see it. I could totally see it. Honestly,
I mean,
he's like a
yeah.
sea bass, dude. He's like sea bass. Imagine sea bass. He only leads in the moment, in when like dire specific situations happen, but he doesn't choose it.
And then this will start. Then I mean, whatever happens, this is going to start the war on throne, and then that will they'll have to increase their numbers. Obviously, yes, because this is going to be a huge war. Because now it might start up.
Oh,
the New
guys,
Republic.
don't talk about Game of Thrones around Regan. Regan doesn't like Game of Thrones.
Who's talking about Game of Thrones?
Oh, if you look at the YouTube chat, you'll see that they're talking about Game of Thrones. So, yeah.
No, he
But
said
yeah,
what
Regan
happened.
doesn't like Game of Thrones. So like he
Yes.
won't get that reference because he just
Yeah, I kind of I don't like seeing brothers and sisters having doing it all the time. So that's
yeah, it
probably-
doesn't sound like you got.
I'm not like I don't like that
clear
kind
heart.
of stuff. I mean, you
Sounds like
guys
you
can
get
do
off
like
to
your
it.
own thing. No,
Sounds like you get off to it. No, but I do think I actually agree with that. Now that logic kind of puts into play, like that totally could happen. I could totally see that. Din could absolutely be the leader of Mandalore for sure. He just doesn't want to, right? He doesn't want to be a leader. He really doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, and you could totally see that, dude. But like when it's time to jump into action, that guy jumps in both feet, pretty much. Like, name a time where he's been like running away from a fight.
I mean, not really. He doesn't really run away. He
Yeah.
takes it head on. But I mean, that's the thing with Bo-Katan, though, and I get and I can see the perspective of going with killing off Bo and then making the Mando king, because they've been really pushing on Bo this whole season, and you're really kind of more you have a string attached to her now, and if Moff Gideon is able, kills her, but the thing is, how does he kill her? Like he has to kill her in hand-to-hand combat. Basically,
I don't know. They got to set the dude. I'm actually really excited about this.
The reason why Din was able to destroy and basically get the Darksaber is because he had that spear thingy that was able to withstand the Darksaber, and basically he was able to defend himself off with that material. But she doesn't really have that, does she? I mean, she's just got the shoulder plate, but that's it. That she lost, though, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited.
And then that's when Grogu becomes a Mandalorian too.
Oh, for sure. He's gonna be a Mandalorian.
100%.
For sure.
100%. Everybody knows that.
I'm curious what happens in the future though, like when he gets older, right? Like they obviously they got to kill off Din. Din's probably not going to be alive when he's old enough to be able to, really run around, right? Where he is right now, he's not really moving very, very fast. And he ages differently than Grogu does, obviously.
Right.
I'm curious how they're gonna do that. Like maybe kill him off, trade him over to somebody else.
They gotta. What if Grogu becomes king of the Mandos? What if that happens? Not obviously not this season, but in
at some point,
seasons to come. Yes, because
I could see it.
Grogu will be the only. Grogu's basically going to be like Yoda and be this old thing that lives.
Geezer.
Yeah, that outlives everybody, and this very wise person. So then, why not? And that he could. He's a gunslinger. Just think about this. Okay, imagine in your head, you see this little guy walking down this hall. All right, you see this guy walking down this hall. There's a cool green guy. Okay, and in this situation, there's, I don't know, let's say 1,000 stormtroopers, lots of them. Anyways,
Okay.
and it's just this one green guy, and all of a sudden he lifts up his hand, and 1,000 blasters raise up and are pointed right at all the stormtroopers, and they're just floating there. And the green guy's just got his hands up here, and he does one of these. Oh, and then all the guns shoot and kill all the stormtroopers, just like that. All because he has the Force and is able to control his Force in such a magnificent way, like Yoda. He can simultaneously.
You are
fire.
such a freaking idiot. That is not even close.
Do stormtroopers
Settle it
have-
once and for all. Do stormtroopers have good or bad aim? What were we talking about when we were talking about stormtrooper aim? Remember?
Weren't we talking about? No, I don't think you were talking. I think you were going to go with when the Bo and all the other Mandalorians got away, and if what's his face got away with him and left the hole. If the stormtroopers left him, they would have been fine because their aim they wouldn't have been able to hit him. I thought you were going to go with that, but you said
No,
the
it's
shooting.
true, actually, though. That actually is so true.
You said
But those
they
weren't
could just shoot the
stormtroopers,
thing.
though.
Yes, they were stormtroopers, just with a different
With
armor.
jetpacks. Yeah, I don't
Jetpacks,
know.
basically Mandalorian armors.
Only stormtroopers have such accuracy with the blaster.
Yeah, have you ever shot a blaster? Jeez, those things are so hard.
So to answer your question, they're really bad at aiming. Horrible. Horrible.
Yeah, 100%.
You could literally run down a hallway and not get hit. That's the crazy thing. That's the crazy thing.
Wow, that's just stormtrooper talk, dude. Freaking stormtrooper talk.
Cap? Oh, you think it's Cap? Okay. I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
Obi-Wan episode 4.
Is that what you're watching right now?
That's what he said.
Well,
Obi-Wan episode 4. I'm from the original movie.
Please.
In the original movie.
You wishes he was in the original movie.
Sure. Jeez. What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. So I was gonna say, I think that's kind of it for our Star Wars talk. Unless you had anything else you wanted to talk about, I think we covered the episode pretty good.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Overall, I give it this episode. I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 6. I thought it was 4.5 out of 5. I'm not on a 6-point scale rating. I give it a 4.5 out of 5. I thought it was really, really good. Definitely would go watch it again. I'm excited for the season finale coming up, so we'll definitely have to talk about that. We will talk about that next week, actually, along with Super Mario Bros. Check out my theory. Where is it?
100%. His theory
Let me know what
about
you think.
Bo.
It will convince you. Where is it though? Post a link in the
Pretty
in the
Reddit or
you-
something
in the
like
chat.
that. I don't know if you can post links in the chat. I don't know. Probably just like Reddit. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh,
Reddit's got
Okay.
all the things on the thingies about the thingies and all the thingies
about this stuff.
and the
and the
stuff
things.
thingies, all that thingies.
All of those things.
Yeah, I would. For me, I think my rating on this whole episode was
Your
probably
link destroys my
Star-
stormtrooper argument.
yeah.
I would love to read it.
The
Now, if your link tells me about like, oh, this is like they're freaking they're Jedi, so it slows down, so they miss a lot of stuff. Like, whatever, get out of here. I'm talking about when they're shooting like Han Solo or Princess Leia in
Chewbacca,
episode
yeah,
4 and
Princess Leia.
5.
Princess
That's
Leia
friggin'
is
everything.
a Jedi. How dare you?
Okay, Sorry. She has
Golly.
she has Jedi blood, but
The
she
Force
wasn't
is
a Jedi
with
at the time.
her. The Force is with her. And guess what? The Force is all around us. Do you know
How
anything?
could she
Do you
have the
know
Force if
anything
she
about the
doesn't
Force?
accept the
Oh.
Force? Huh?
The Force has always been there, and it's always been with her. It's not the beginning.
All I'm saying is that she literally doesn't accept the Force, so why would she take the Force?
That's gross, dude. Why would you say that? This is so gross.
What do you mean?
Dude, that's Princess Leia, dude.
They wanted to lead them to their base. Unta tuta solo? Unta tutu solo.
Yeah, I
They
mean, for
wanted
me,
to
I
lead
think
them to their base. Look, I agree with you on that, but literally the only time I've ever seen a successful stormtrooper just land shots left and right is Order 66.
when they wanted to.
Did you find
You
the theory?
think so? What
find it?
if this whole Star Wars, okay, the whole universe and the Empire are leading us into something? They want to keep everyone alive for a reason, and they're trained to shoot horribly, okay, to miss their shots unless they know exactly what's happening.
Oh my gosh, your entire post is like a school paper. Holy
Whose?
Lewis. I just posted his Reddit post. It's literally a
gosh.
school paper with proof, everything.
Wait,
It's
Lewis
crazy.
actually wrote it?
He actually wrote that, yeah.
No way.
Mando season 3 finale theory.
Let's go.
Okay, let's just take a look at it. Let's take a look at it.
You share your screen?
Yeah. Let's take a look. You guys see that? What do you guys see?
There it
You
is.
guys see the whole screen?
Season 3.
Blue Bags 150,000. It does have 150,000 views. 115 upvotes, 30. That. Let's take a look here.
Yeah,
okay,
we're looking
Mandalorian
right now.
season 3 final finale theory. Who is the Mandalorian about?
I don't know if we'll be
Introduction.
able to read the whole thing. I mean, if you want to, it's your show. Dude.
I'll read the
It's
whole
your-
thing or read
yeah.
part of it. So the season
Well,
looking employed strategic
I'll read it.
misdirect to keep viewers and engage in the plots and unexpected twists and turns, and this theory will explore.
Lou is
She's gonna
Lou
die.
is
Sample.
got is my guy
Coming
coming in on here. Oh my god.
Oh, Huh.
can't
I called
read it.
this a couple. I read this, or I said this a couple weeks ago. IG-11's return. Told you.
IG-11 isn't. It's not
I
IG-11.
told you.
First
he
off,
put it in his freaking He put it in his freaking review. You know what? Thank you so much, Lou Bags. You make me right. I called it. I freaking called that. I knew he was coming back. I knew it. Spies. Skinny P a reference to the Bible. People need to stop reading it.
do you think? No, they can't do that. Do you think they'll time travel sometime in Star Wars?
Oh, please don't.
Do you think that's the
Please
possibility
don't.
that they might take in the
Please
Star Wars
don't.
universe?
They better not. Unless it's okay. The only way I would accept time travel is if it's a Sith-driven TV show, and that's something that they may use to help with the Sith and building the story of that. But I would be more willing to see like visions of the past, not necessarily going back in time. Personally, I don't think that would be in Ahsoka 100%. You think time travel is going to be in there?
So, like, I think there's one part in this whole season with Mandalorian that I keep going back to, and I'm just trying to figure out what was the point. And it was when Grogu and Jin were in their speeder going, speed, the hitting light speed, and Grogu looks over, or the Mando was sleeping, and Grogu looks over, and there's like these little whales, basically.
Hold up. Lewis, how many times did you watch episode 7? I would love to know. You probably watched this like 6 or 7 times. Just
literally
based
watched
off
it while
of
we
looking
were
at this
talking
literally looking at this. He's even got Lucasfilm and Disney's business strategy. You've only watched it twice. There's no way. The second time you went
There's a way.
you went real slow. You're smart. Lucasfilm and Disney's business strategy. Balancing fan appeal and new demographics is a significant concern for Lucasfilm and Disney. And Dim becoming Mandalorian could satisfy both groups. Everybody loves Pedro Pascal right now. Lots of other diverse shows coming out down.
Well, this is
pipeline.
My question, Matthew. What do you think? Like going back to the. Hang on, my dog.
Roxy,
lay down. Hey, Roxy, lay down. Sorry. My question is like going back to those whale type creatures. There's got to be a reason why they showed that. They haven't addressed that at all this season. They haven't talked about it, and there's a point to it.
I'm going to be looking at this a little bit later. Off the show, I'm going to take a look at it.
Bad boy.
What I did read though, like, oh my gosh, you have a lot in here.
So much info.
Yeah, I'm really
excited.
Send
me that
hopefully.
link, Matt. I want to read.
Yeah,
that
I posted
too.
it in the YouTube, but I'll send it to you directly.
Oh, okay.
Sending it over. Yeah, I'm really excited. Okay, over under. I mean, Ezra Miller. Not Ezra Miller. Oh my gosh. Ezra Bridger, not Ezra Miller. I was like, Ezra Miller's not it. Ezra Miller's not the one. Ezra Bridger is definitely going to be in Ahsoka for sure, 100%, 1000%. Over under, they bring in Ezra at the end of Mandalorian though.
So
last episode.
So
this is more of a Lewis question, but
yeah,
100% he comes in Ahsoka. Do you think there's a chance that they show up, even Ahsoka or Ezra Miller jumping in at this last episode, or no? I don't think so, but you would dream. 1%, yeah, exactly.
You think Ezra Miller is going to be
Ezra Bridger?
Oh, I thought you said Ezra Miller.
No,
I was like,
I'm sorry.
Why are we bringing in Ezra Miller in this? I was like, no
Ezra
way.
Bridger.
Like, he was the Flash, man.
Whatever. Mando versus Ezra, Mando, Ahsoka, etc. Yep, exactly. I don't know. They could bring in Ezra at the end. Not very high, but that'd be pretty cool. It'd be cool to see a Jedi in this last episode too, just in general.
Well, they already kind of had that Jedi from what episode? Kind of going through Order 66.
Oh, with, yeah. Jar Jar Binks. What's his name?
Yeah.
The guy. I feel like Charlie Kelly is the mailroom looking for Pepe Sylvia. I could see it.
Yeah.
I can totally see it.
Totally see it.
I could totally see it. Okay, well, we're going in circles here, but it's always sunny in Philadelphia, baby. Yeah, baby. That's going to conclude our episode for today. We've already been going for a pretty long time, but actually, if you take out 45 minutes, we've only been going for like 2 hours.
I mean, we did go have a 45-minute pre-show.
A really long pre-show. So,
right.
Not too bad. Last final shout out for us and our social media. We're doing a giveaway, ladies and gentlemen. If you have made it to the end of the podcast, we want to say thank you. It very much, I mean, it's very appreciative.
And shout out to Yo Lewis got 13 Lewis. I'm sorry.
Big shout out to Real Alex Bomb 12 as well for engaging.
And Wowie
Sports, my brother. Thanks for engaging with us, guys. It's fun. It's fun when we have people who talk to us, but
yeah,
you know, if you guys came, you finished the episode, leave a like, leave a comment, it doesn't really do too much for a small channel like us, but it's cool to see.
Some growth.
See some likes, see some comments, see some stuff like that. But no, you didn't take over. You're good. It was fun to engage with people. So if go to our Instagram, follow us, comment, like on our posts, and then you'll be entered in for the giveaway as well. Once we hit 100 followers on Instagram, we will be replicating similar giveaways throughout all of our social media. So if we hit 100 on Facebook, if we hit 100 on YouTube, or if we hit 100 on Twitter, we're going to replicate that stuff. So go ahead and just follow us all on our social media. If you're listening from Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcasts, I think that's all of them, right?
Google. We're on Google.
Google, Spotify, Apple.
Spotify.
I think that's it.
I think we're on pretty much
everything.
All the major ones. The major ones.
Leave a comment, leave a review, so that way we know you listen. It would just be really, really we would really appreciate it. But off my soapbox, it was a pleasure hanging out with you guys. Until next time, we'll see you next week. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the double. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at and why don't you check out our Instagram page at the Goof and Goober Show and drop a follow. Thanks. A wonderful day.